Hello, I'm Nifty Nomi, bookkeeper and business basics educator. Now, this is one of those questions that comes up a lot, and I model it, along with many others, inside my bookkeeping simulation of a Canadian business, where you can practice with real source documents across multiple months. This clip is just one small piece. Details are linked below. Now, onto the solution. Next, we have a BOS, or a bill of sale. And this is a private purchase. Sarah is purchasing from James Rogers a utility trailer. And she's paying it with a check, and she's paying $1,000. So if this was a corporation, it would matter that it's Sarah's personal name because, again, Sarah is not the corporation. But again, she is a sole proprietor. Sarah is the business. So it was good for her to have her name on here because she needs to get plates for this, right? And we're in Ontario, so she'll need to go to MTO and get plates. But in the meantime, we can put this purchase in. We can see that there's a check. It's for $1,000. And what makes this extra interesting is that a trailer, as per CRA, for tax purposes, is considered a Class 10 asset. And what do I mean by Class 10? CRA has dictated how much, I'm going to say depreciation can be claimed for tax purposes. It's not quite the right wording. It's called capital cost allowance. CRA recognizes that capital assets or things that you buy are going to lose value over time, and they've set a rate at how much you can claim of that expense over each year. But it depends on what category or what class that asset is in. Obviously, a computer is going to depreciate quicker than, say, like a machine that makes things, right? And also, vehicles have a different rate of capital cost allowance, or the amount that we're allowed to claim for the associated loss in value over time. So from CRA's perspective, a trailer's got wheels, it goes on the road, right? It's got like a license plate. I don't know why they put in this class, I'm just guessing. But they've put that into Class 10, the same that we put trucks and cars and things into. But from a GAAP perspective, from a generally accepted accounting principles perspective, we don't match what tax rules are. We want to be as close to reality as possible, right? So from a GAAP perspective, this is not actually considered sort of a vehicle asset. It's going to be considered an equipment asset. And also because we're trying to match reality as close as possible, GAAP doesn't necessarily depreciate the assets in the same way that the tax rules do, right? Like there's different ways of doing it, straight line depreciation, so on and so forth. That's a topic for a different day. The point today is that a trailer, according to CRA's capital cost allowance, is Class 10, which is the same as vehicles. And from a GAAP perspective, it's equipment, which goes in a different sort of bucket on your balance sheet. So where do you put it on the balance sheet? Well, most people put it with the equipment because the tax analysis at the end of the day, at the end of the year, is done by the tax preparer, who will go through those asset purchases and put it on a different form when they file the taxes. I like to make it a little extra helpful by creating a sub-account under equipment that is specific for trailer assets. That way the accountant or the tax preparer can see at a glance, there is an asset in the equipment GL account that is actually Class 10 that when I prepare the taxes is going to be with sort of the auto equipment list. So that's how I deal with this, and let's go ahead and put that in together. So before we enter this, let's go over to transactions, chart of accounts. And if I were to type in equipment, you can see, let's expand this out, give us a bit more room, that we already have a property, plant, and equipment. And what I want to do is I want to make two sub-accounts. So I'm going to make a sub-account that is general equipment assets and a sub-account that is trailer equipment assets. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go new account and general equipment assets. I like the word assets to be in the name of the GL account so that it doesn't accidentally get used as an expense, even though it's already under a GL account that has the word assets, but that is me just being extra cautious for future users. And this is a property, plants, and equipment I call fixed asset. And let's just say machinery and equipment. And we can go that this is a sub-account of equipment assets like that. We'll go save and new, and now we'll go trailer equipment assets like this. And again, it is a, property, plant, and equipment, or a fixed asset machinery. And we're going to make this also a sub-account of equipment assets. And then we're going to go save and just save. Let's see, save and close. Excellent. So now you can see what's happening is we've got equipment assets with 2 sub-accounts. And let's just make sure that if there's anything in equipment assets, we want to move that down to general equipment. So let's take a quick look. And I can see that nothing yet is in the generic equipment assets account. Now, another thing that I like to do when there are when there's a parent account and there's child accounts is I like to sort of make a note somehow that this is a parent account. So let's go ahead and edit so that it doesn't get used, or a reminder if it goes to get used. So I used to do this little squiggle line right here, and then to sort of communicate to the bookkeeper that the accounts, that this is a parent account, don't use it, try to use the sub-accounts. But I did have an accountant come back to me and say that that character doesn't work with their macro in Excel. So I've decided to use the plus sign. So the plus is just basically sort of trying to let the bookkeeper know this is a parent account and there's things underneath that are better to be used. So we're going to go save here. We're just saving the name of it. And you can see it's reminding you expand this out. There are some sub-accounts below. Excellent. So let's go back to that expense screen, new expense. And who did we pay? We paid James Rogers. We didn't pay out of the triangle, we paid out of the Canada Bank checking. And that was June 21st. And it was check number 22, right? So check number 22. And now if we were to do equipment right here, you can see equipment assets has a plus. And that plus is to remind us that there are sub-accounts to choose from, so we can say trailer assets right there. And whenever you're increasing an asset GL account, you absolutely need to put in the description. So we're going to say it's a 2022 PJ utility float trailer VIN, and I just do the last 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just you can type out the whole VIN if you want, and the amount is $1,000. That's out of scope right now, and we'll talk more in a minute about this, but we didn't give any HST to James Rogers. He's just a neighbor. There's no HST noted here. And also another thing I like to do is to add the attachment whenever an asset is purchased. So let's go to week 3 with notes, charges, and here is that bill of sale open. So I like to put the asset purchase paperwork right in it, even though we have the description. So the description is going to show up when we look at the general ledger detail listing. And if we ever, and it's good to have the actual source documentation right in there. So we're going to go save and new and take a look at what is next. This clip is taken from one of the walkthroughs inside the Grand Gate Gardens real-world bookkeeping simulation. This Canadian business simulation includes multi-month practice work, downloadable source documents and bank feeds, common error spot check questions, and guided walkthroughs. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Instagram at BeThatBusiness, and you can tweet at me, X at me. I'm at NiftyNomi, and I'm also at NiftyNomi on Twitch and TikTok. And you can find resources and courses about running a Canadian business on my website, naomiwilkins.ca. I love making business make sense. The video today was recorded in beautiful Oshawa, Ontario. Thanks so much for watching, and get out there and be that business that thrives.